There you go.
Hi everybody, I am Debbie with Rocky Mountain Lodge and I am excited to have you join me today. We're going to be learning how to make super easy fettuccine alfredo. It's one of those dishes that we get when we go out to eat, but we never really make it because I don't think we really realize how easy it is to make. I have made this with my grandkids before and my niece, and it is super easy. You guys will be super impressed. You can change it up and we'll talk about that a little later. You can find this recipe at our website at rockymountainlodge.com and click on the recipes tab. And it's also in our cookbook right here. My hubby's coffee there. In our cookbook, Rocky Mountain Lodge and Cabin's More Favorite Recipes, which you can also get this on our website by clicking on the gift shop tab. And then enter the promo code Facebook Cooking and you can take $5 off with that promo code. Alright, so there's that. And so right now, we only need a few ingredients for this recipe. I've got my little burner already preheated, so I'm going to put my pot on here. I have some fettuccine already boiling, and so that way I can save some time. It's already cooking on the stove. We're going to need 8 ounces of fettuccine. This box is a 12 ounce or a 16 ounce box, so I just use a half a box. This recipe will serve 4 people. Then we're also going to need 2 tablespoons of butter, which I'm going to put in our pot and let that start to melt here. And then we'll need 1 cup of heavy cream, a half a teaspoon of salt, and an eighth a teaspoon of pepper, a half a cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I like to just buy my Parmesan cheese in blocks like this, and then I just grate it with my little grater. It's nice to have it fresh. And then we have some parsley for garnish, which you can do without if you don't want. You can also add grilled chicken to this, or grilled shrimp, or scallops, my hubby's personal favorite. You can add peas to it. I like peas, not my hubby. There's a story about peas. Let me turn this up a little bit and get this butter melted. I didn't melt it ahead of time because I thought this would be hot enough. But anyway, I'm going to go and check on the pasta here really quick. It's coming along just fine. So like I said, this serves 4 people. It's really easy. Let's see, I have a little piece of paper in here for my butter. We don't want that. Okay, so you can add different things to this. We already talked about that. Different things like chicken, shrimp, peas, anything you might want, or just leave it plain, which we're just going to do that today. We're just going to have it plain, just for simplicity's sake. And as soon as this butter gets melted, we'll add our cream and salt and pepper. So while I'm waiting for this to melt, I'll go ahead and tell you about what we're going to be doing next week. Since it's March and it's spring and St. Patrick's Day is coming up in a couple of weeks, I am going to have a special leprechaun helper with me next week. And we're going to make some St. Patrick's Day treats for y'all. We're going to make some mint glazed chocolate brownies, and I'll show you how to make an Irish flag salad, and we'll see if there's anything else that we make. But for those for sure, and my leprechaun helper is super excited to help me. Alright, so this butter is almost melted. And so while you guys are all on there, if you have any questions, please just type them in the comments box there. My hubby will read them out to me. So we've got our butter here, 2 tablespoons of butter, which we have melted. And so now we're just going to add our 1 cup of cream, heavy cream. And then an eighth a teaspoon of pepper, a half a teaspoon of salt. And then we're just going to bring this to a simmer. And by the time this is done, our noodles should be done. And then we'll be ready to eat. It just goes that quick. It takes literally, as long as it takes to boil noodles, that's how long it takes to make fettuccine alfredo. Super quick and easy. You probably had no idea how fast this was to make. It's not necessarily the best health-wise for us, but it sure is delicious. I like to order this when I go out to eat sometimes. So we're getting that ready. I'll check on my noodles one more time. So you can have your noodles al dente. You can have them nice and soft. There's a debate out on that. My parents like them soft and mushy. We like them a little bit al dente. I think it's a generational thing. But, so we're just waiting for this to heat up. It's super quick. So while I'm waiting for that to heat up, I will go ahead and grate some extra Parmesan cheese to sprinkle on top when we're done, just for garnish. So I just have my little microplane grater or box grater, and I just grate up some fresh cheese, which we'll just sprinkle on top when we're done. Don't need a whole lot. Fresh grated cheese, and I have a half a cup of that cheese right here. Those are almost done. Let's see how this is doing. Not quite simmering yet. There's a little extra of this in here. So while you guys are watching this video, make sure when you're done watching it that you like this video, you share this video, watch all of our other videos on our YouTube channel. You can find our YouTube channel at Rocky Mountain Lodge. I can see this steaming, so I think it's pretty close to being there.
Linda wants to know if you can make it with olive oil instead of butter.
You know, I have never tried it. I'm not sure why you couldn't. But why don't you go ahead and try it and tell me what you think, if it works out. But I would think you could. I don't see why not. It would do the same thing. They're both oils. I think butter is just for flavor. We grew up eating margarine all the time. We never had butter when I was growing up. I started buying butter once I started cooking a lot. Okay, so now this is simmering. I'm going to turn the heat off. And I'm going to take it off the heat. I'm going to move that out of my way. And now we're going to add our cheese to this. Half a cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. You can also buy the stuff that comes in the can. That's totally fine. I used to do that when I first started making this. Pretty easy. And so that is the sauce. We're just going to get all that cheese to melt in there. All right. And the kind of cheese that comes in the pan, in the can, in the little tubs, actually is a little bit more compact and dense. And so even though I measured this at a half a cup, it might actually need a little bit more just to thicken. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Just to thicken it, because even though it's a half a cup of cheese, you can see that this cheese is a lot more light and airy. So it might not necessarily be a half a cup as much as the compact cheese. So I just added a little bit more. You don't have to measure, not a big deal. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and get our noodles. I'm pretty sure they're done. Use my sweet hot pot holders that my grandkids made me. I think, let's see, Joy and Hannah made this one. Gabriel made this one. He's my little leprechaun helper for next week. He is so excited. He was actually hoping it was today that he was coming. They were going to go and see their cousins today, and he told me yesterday that he wasn't going to go see the cousins because he was going to help me do the video. And I told him it was next week so he could go see his cousins. He and his little cousin, Caleb, are only 1 week apart. Pretty amazing. These two little boy cousins only 7 days apart. All right, so now I've done our noodles, and as I mentioned, this serves 4 people. And so we have our noodles here, our fettuccine, our sauce right here. And so I am going to just add our noodles to our sauce. Whoops, maybe I should just pour those in there.
Don't be scared. Is it hot?
Yeah, that's kind of hot. I use my little grandkid pot holders. All right. So now we've got our noodles and our fettuccine. And the noodles will actually absorb some of this sauce too as it sets. As it sets and gets a little cool, it will absorb some of the sauce and get a little thicker. And so then all we're going to do is we are going to put our fettuccine in a bowl. Here, we've got our creamy fettuccine, which we're going to grab and just put in. Okay.
Super simple.
Let me clean that up a little bit. All right. You know, I do such a good job until I do my videos. And then it's like Murphy's Law comes into effect. Whatever could go wrong, does go wrong. And so we've got a little bit of some noodles here, our sauce. We're going to add some more sprinkle of grated cheese on top. And a little bit of parsley for garnish. And here is our fettuccine. And then we can serve it with some homemade garlic knots that I made earlier today. So put a couple of those on there. And add a little salad to that, and you have a great, easy, quick dinner that won't take you more than about 20 minutes from start to finish. Any questions, everybody? All right, we'll come back next week. I will have a special leprechaun helper, and we're going to make some St. Patrick's Day treats for y'all. Thanks for joining me, and visit our website at RockyMountainLodge.com, where you can find this recipe and others on our recipes page, and our cookbook and our gift shop page. Enter promo code Facebook Cooking, and you can take $5 off that. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.